Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and thanks for tuning into another epic siege in Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD. And we're doing something a little bit different today. We're using a custom map. It's Castle Hill. I'll try to remember to leave the pack in the description so you guys can download it and play it yourself. So it is a custom map, and because it's a custom map, I'm not actually able to save any replays, so we're actually going to commentate on this battle live. So we've got 5 armies, 3 attacking and 2 defending, and this is going to be a live battle, guys. So I really hope you do enjoy, and without further ado, let's take a look at the army comps. Alright guys, we're going to take a look at the attacking armies first, and the first one here is the Kievian Rus, commanded by Deboss 11111, and he's brought a pretty solid force here. He's got a few units of dismounted boyars, which is tier 2 heavy melee infantry. I think he has about 4 or 5 units of them, and by the way guys, this was high and early period only. He's also got some spear ratniki as well. Some more dismounted boyars. He's got some ratniki, so it looks like there is a spear and a sword version. We've got a little issue here with the standard barrier. I think he's missing a couple skins, but that's alright. And for his archers, he's brought the dismounted boyar sons, a very, very elite archer unit. Very solid. And then we've got the Khan's Guard for his general. Over here in the trees, he's got a few units of cavalry. He's got a melee cavalry unit, the Otroki, which they've got some small buckler shields and maces, and then he's got some heavy shock cav as well, the boyars. And I think that's... Nope, he's actually got a catapult as well. I forgot every player was allowed to bring a catapult. And he's got some Kansberg's axemen hiding in the trees over here as well. And keep in mind, guys, this may be a little bit laggy because, as I said, I am recording this live, so it does really depend on everyone's internet connection and whatnot. But let's look at the second force on the battlefield. We've got the Duchy of Lesser Poland, commanded by the Hunted, and he's brought a lot of sergeants of the high period, very solid unit. He's also got some knights here. Oh, right, and behind his swords, he's got some Pavis crossbowmen. And he's brought some communal voltigeurs, I believe. Probably not the exact pronunciation, but I believe this is a French unit. At least voltigeurs is, I think. But he's also got some Pavi spearmen here of the high period, and behind that, some Levy pikemen. He's got some more of the sergeants on his ram. His general over here is the King's Bodyguard. And actually, there he is with his glorious-looking helmet. And he's kind of deployed his forces into 2 groups. So he's got his catapult here with some more of the communal halberds, some more of the Pavis crossbowmen, some more of the Pavis spears and Levy pikemen as well. And he's also brought another unit. Oh, actually, this is the Great Banner of Krakow, one of my favorite cavalry units in 1212. Really nice to see them. And let's jump on over to the other side where we have the final attacking army. This is the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, commanded by Tattoos and Welding. And he's got some of the Ducal crossbowmen for his archers. For his cavalry back there, he's got the Ducal cavalry. He's got some Ducal heavy axemen. Dismounted Bayoria. I have no idea how to pronounce that. But a lot of Ducal infantry as well. 14th century, nice solid infantry. And he's got some more up over on this flank as well. Some Lithuanian knights. He's got some of the retinue archers here. He has some spears on the ram, and I think just more of the... Oh no, he's actually got some noble swords here. Really nice unit. They were actually reskinned in this recent patch. Really nice swords. And more of the Ducal heavy axemen to bring up the rear. So that is it for the attacking armies, so let's go ahead and take a look at the 2 defenders. Alright guys, so we've got the 2 defenders defending this awesome looking castle, and they are both playing as the Teutonic Order. The first one is being played by Azrian Fox, and the second one is being played by Lance the Strategist. And right in the front lines here, I can almost guess what they're going to be doing with all these units of Ritterbruder. They're probably going to be sallying out and taking the fight to the attackers, maybe going for some strategic units like the catapults, because getting rid of the catapults early on in the game is definitely a good tactic. He's also got some halberder spearmen here, some salamander swordsmen. I believe that this is mostly the Lance the Strategist forces down here. We've also got some Breiguer Voltgears. So my German obviously is off point just a little bit, but he's got some Prussian archers here as well, some more of the Salamander swordsmen, and he's got the same thing over here with the Burgerwehr and the Halbruder. And then we get into a much more solid defensive line here. He's got the same formation with the Halbruder Spearmen with some Salamander Swordsmen. This catapult liable to get a ton of kills as they push for the keep. He's also got some more swords there. We've got some Halbruder Heavy Axemen. And the Teutonic Order is another one who's received a lot of love in the most recent update. Their roster was pretty bare bones before this, so it's nice to see that more units have been added. Some Burgerwehr, Pavi's Crossbowmen. This is the Asrian Fox's forces here, and most of his are in the town center, along with lances, Grandmaster's bodyguard, and also some Prussian archers. But Asrian Fox bringing mostly the same, some Halbruder Heavy Axemen. He's got some Salamander swords. His general is here, a catapult, and we've got some more of the crossbows as well. Looks like back here he's also got a few swords in reserve, and actually they've kept a Ritterbruder back as well. And a thing about the Castle Hill map as well, we used to not be able to use the walls at all, but a recent patch has allowed us to put archers on the walls, and I believe Azri and I have tested it, and you can get them up to the top of this keep as well, which is very, very nice to see. But that is everything, guys. So as I said, keep in mind this is a live battle, so it may be a little bit framey at times, but I really hope you do enjoy, and without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, welcome to the battlefield, and yes, because it is a live battle, from time to time you may hear that Steam chat go off. It will make a little doop, but just ignore that. We're not really going to concern ourselves with the chat at all. We're just going to focus on the battle itself. But this is exactly the reason why I wanted to start over on this area of the battlefield. The Hunted, I think he knew exactly that there was some Teutonic cavalry over here, and he's moved up his spears right away to protect his crossbows. But it looks like they're just going to try and do a charge into the spears. Now, could have been a good charge because the spears were spread so thin, but I think they were 3 ranks deep, so they did manage to soak up most of that charge. We've got the other unit coming over here to go after the Great Banner of Krakow, so we've got some clashes there. We've got some swordsmen coming in to help out, and it looks like Tattoos and Welding over here, also sending some Ducal cavalry over here to help out. We've actually got the King's Bodyguard over here from the Hunted, who had to silence one of these Ritterbruder units that was going for the catapult. But I think he should be alright because now he's got some of the communal halberds going in. But, oh, maybe Lance will be able to get to the catapult crew? Just barely. Oh, and actually over here as well with Azrian, going right for that catapult crew, although there is so much help over here with the Lithuanian Ducal cavalry that I doubt they're going to be able to kill all of this catapult crew. So a valiant effort, but unfortunately it didn't really pay off for them. Let's go ahead and see what DeBoss is doing here. He's being very aggressive. He's already got his siege tower with some dismounted boyars and his ram moving across this bridge. Now, DeBoss has to move over to this side here, and he's going to be attacking this section of the wall. Now, the thing DeBoss has to be careful with is not to be too aggressive, because they still have to take this inner city, or I'd say the outer city, I guess, before they get to the inner city to support. So if DeBoss is challenging Azrian all on his own over here, Azrian probably will be able to win that, because he's not going to have to micro at all over here, because Lance will be covering him in the outer city. Same with Tattoos and Welding. He's going to have to be careful not to go in here too quickly. I think their best plan will be to support each other in taking this outer area, and then they can simultaneously attack all 3 gates. But we will see what happens in the ensuing battle here. Got some crossbows moving up here. They're well out of range, so I don't think Lance is that worried about them yet. And also these Halberder Spearmen, if we take a look at their stats, morale 141, my goodness, and also 90 missile block while they're in their testudo. And these swords over here, they've got 60 missile block and shield wall. So there's really not too much they can go after, except for maybe these Burgerwehr. They've got 1 missile block, so they are just going to really respond poorly to enemy archer fire. But the catapult over here, that will definitely break down some spear formations. And also starting to burn burn the houses in the city center will start to affect their morale. You can see settlement damage here is only at 1%, but as it gets, I think, to 10% and above, they will start to take morale penalties. And this is the other thing that's going to be a little bit tricky for Lance if he's going to be defending between these houses here. His burgerware, you can see they took 9 casualties because as these buildings start to collapse, they will cause casualties to units that are close by. But yeah, I love the Teutonic Order colors here. The white and black is one of my favorite color schemes of all time. Probably not as much as the Templars, though, which is the red and white. I'd say that's probably my #1 favorite. But white and black, it definitely is an awesome color variation for the Teutonic Order. But it looks like we do have some units coming forwards here. They are a little bit banged up from that cavalry battle, or that cavalry engagement, but I think that the Hunted was... I think he was the better, or he came out better in that engagement than Azarian and Lance, because they did lose some pretty expensive cavalry there. And the Hunted, he held on to his catapult, and he only took minimal losses on his spears and swords. We do have some archers opening up there, though. And also, it looks like we do have some firing from the catapult that is within the city center, going after DeBoss's catapult, and it looks like he's already lost 1 already. So he's definitely going to have to be careful with that. He can't lose it too early on. These catapults have the potential to get hundreds of kills. They're definitely needing to be protected. Pavi's crossbowmen coming in for the Hunted. The thing in the new update as well is that crossbows, they really don't arc very well, if at all. So the Hunted's definitely going to have to get kind of a line of sight on these units. So maybe if he's over here, he could fire into that archer unit, or if he sets them up here, he could probably fire into that spear unit, but he'd kind of be wasting ammunition at that point with the 90 missile block. That's not the highest I've ever seen. I think the highest I've ever seen is on the Pavi Spearmen for Hungary. I think they can get up to 120 or something like that. But now it looks like we've got some explosive shot coming in on these Prussian archers. And we've got some more shots coming in over here as well. All of them... Oh, no. All of them did miss the mark, except this one did bounce into the Salamander Swordsman. However, they didn't take any casualties from that. And what do we got here? Excellent. So it looks like Lithuania is pushing in at exactly the same time, so they're definitely coordinating their attacks, which is good. We've got the Otoroki over here randomly sitting on this road. I think he wanted to see if there was any units that were going to take a stand out here, and it looks like we do have some burgerware coming down from Lance. I'm not sure if he's going to try and surprise the boss by maybe getting into melee with this cavalry, because he might not be paying attention. But yeah, DeBoss has held back for now. Or either that, or they might actually be glitched trying to get them across the bridge. Either way, that's a little bit frustrating for him. But I swear you could get them past. The only thing is maybe they can't go at the same time. So he might have to back one of them off and then allow the second one to go through first, and then he can push the ram through. But we were kind of discussing before the battle, and we're not even exactly sure if the siege towers will be able to come up to these walls. We'll have to see when the battle actually gets to the point where we are attacking the inner keep. But they definitely do have some solid defensive fortifications here. You can see, I think this is one road that they can come in, and then there's several roads in the center here. I'm not sure if they can flank through these houses. I'm guessing not. It's hard to tell what the pathfinding will allow, but they can definitely come over this way. The only problem with that is that there's another barricade, but I think they might be able to flank around. I'm not too sure. I think they do have most of their flanks covered, though. I don't see anywhere where enemy cav could get in and disrupt these Prussian archers. But you can just hear the catapult coming in, the crackling of the flaming rounds as they fly overhead. And I'm going to be taking screenshots throughout this battle here. But it looks like they are going to attempt to fire into these halberdier spearmen. I really think that that is a total waste of ammo. I would not even target these spears. The best thing to do with them is to probably use swords or the catapult to disrupt their formation enough, and then charge in with some heavy infantry to finish the job. But I really... What do these get to? I'm curious to see if the Polish are... Yeah, so they're 95 missile block chance. These ones are only 90. So they're pretty even as far as spears go. Lithuania, I think their spears are not as good. The Ducal Spearmen, I think they're average for missile block. I mean, they're 70, so with the shield wall or the Testudo, they'll probably go up to 90, same as the Halbruder. Here we go. Looks like we do have some Burgerwehr Pavis crossbowmen coming over here. I think Azrian's going to try and put them right on the edge here. And actually, I could probably draw for you guys, too, since it's a live battle. I'm thinking he's going to try and drop them right there. That's an excellent position to be able to fire down onto the ranks of these swords. And because he's got the higher ground, he shouldn't really have to worry about the arc. So he should be able to just fire straight down into their flanks. So Tattoos and Welding is definitely going to have to be careful with that. Also protecting his Ducal Heavy Axemen. I'd be surprised if they have good missile block. It's only 30. But it's good. Most of their units are kind of getting into position here, which is good to see. It looks like the boss is also supporting in the center. He's brought some of his dismounted Boyar sons. Very, very good archers. And we've got some Guard Bides... Guard Birdies Axemen. It's not Birdish, it's Birdies, I think. And some Ratniki as well. But yeah, look at the fire and flames here. And actually, if this building collapses, we will see some of these spearmen actually die from the impact. But there we go, some excellent volleys from the Prussian archers firing back. And for a live battle, a 3v2, this actually isn't too bad. Oh, but there we go. That's exactly what I was talking about. It looks like the Lithuanians were able to flank around using that pathfinding. And now they are engaging the Prussian archers. So well done there. Look at this. It's completely undefended. So that is really tough to see for Lance the Strategist. It's unfortunate, too, because he probably thought nobody could go through there. But now these spears are completely surrounded. So at this point, I would almost be at the point to just withdraw up to the Salamander Swordsman and Burgerwehr line. Just pull back completely, because this has exposed all of these units to being flanked. And now with this unit of Ducal Infantry holding the Salamander Swordsman out, if they're not quick enough, or sorry, if Lance isn't quick enough, he's going to lose this unit of archers as well, because they're just going to swoop on in and actually cut them off so that they cannot escape. But unfortunately, it looks like that unit of halberds is already engaged in melee, so they're not going to be escaping that fight either. And unfortunately, these two units are kind of stuck as well. Oh man, the Salamander Swordsman just being completely surrounded here. Oh, hold, brave Teutons, hold. Oh, nice firing into the backs of the Lithuanian swordsmen, though. They actually left the Prussian archers uncontested, and he's definitely losing a lot of men here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's really not good. I think maybe he should have pushed for those Prussian archers, or maybe tried to get a few units of cav through there. Oh man, this is totally crazy though. He's actually snuck a unit of Ducal Axemen through these houses here, and now he's engaged these Prussian archers. Luckily, we've got some Halberder Heavy Axemen that are going into support, and the Prussian archers hopefully will be able to retreat out of there. He's getting this unit of Prussian archers back, which is good. This unit of Volgiers, I mean, they're holding, but it says they are losing decisively. The Ratniki, very solid swords. And these units, I mean, I never find that halberds or polearm units are as good as pikemen. You can see their melee attack and melee damage isn't too bad. Their melee defense is okay, but really minimal armor. Morale is pretty low right now. I think that is because they're losing. The only thing they are good against is attacking cavalry. But if I was Lance, I would definitely try and retreat this unit of halberdier spearmen. They don't serve any purpose whatsoever now. And as you can see over here, it looks like the Pavi spearman from the Hunted is able to flank around. Now, I'm not sure if he is going to be able to fit through these gaps or not, but from what I've seen on this map so far, I think the pathfinding is very open here. But some aggressive pushing here from Azrian Fox and Lance the Strategist. Looks like these Ducal Heavy Axemen were trying to go and flank around the Halberdier Spearmen, and they were stopped in their tracks. Let's get a little zoom in here. Yeah, the Ducal Heavy Axemen, they are kind of outmanned. And I'm not sure whose archers that is, but they are getting a little bit of friendly fire if they are the Lithuanian archers. What are these here? Yeah, the Ducal crossbowmen. I mean, there is a lot of units there, and actually a nice hit into the Lithuanian infantry there. My goodness. Some huge hits. But yeah, this unit is pretty much destroyed. We do have some of the Spiratniki pushing through, though, sneaking through these little gaps here, my goodness. And also the Pavi Spearmen also getting through. So, yeah, a lot of units have been lost over just in this outer city, I think, to the open pathfinding. I don't think that Lance is aware of all of these little points where they could get through his defenses. And frankly, neither was I. I've never played on this map before today either, so that's very interesting. You would have thought in an outer city like this that the pathfinding would be quite buggy, but it seems to be pretty open. But yeah, you can see these crossbows here, they actually are obstructed, and the reason for that is because there's units in front, and for their arcing, when they try to arc over top, they're almost not able to do that at all. They are getting a few shots over here into the Burgerwehr Volgers. But I mean, they are pushing back. They're being very aggressive here, which is quite interesting. I think they just don't want to abandon all this infantry that's now completely surrounded. I'm shocked that this unit of Salamander swordsmen is still holding. And we've also got the Teutonic spears and swords fighting back to back here. Let's actually zoom into this fight. And it looks like we do have some polearm units in this battle as well, so they will definitely help against these spears. But we've got the Burdish, I believe these are the Burdish axemen, hitting the Salamander swordsmen from behind, so there is no escape for this unit if they break. But wow, look at this. Because this Ducal infantry is so focused on fighting this unit of Salamander swordsmen, they're actually wavering. I think we've got some Prussian archers that are just relentlessly focusing them down. Yeah, they are shaken. And this unit over here not looking too good. The sergeants from the Hunted also quite depleted. So this one unit is really doing well. I think the gold chevrons are definitely helping with their morale. But they have finally broken there. Luckily, these spears are pretty safe for the moment because they've actually got a barricade behind them. So there's nothing that's going to be outflanking them. The only problem is I don't think he was able to get them into a testudo formation. So they're going to have to kind of fight hand-to-hand. And that's so awesome. Just behind, you can see the Lithuanian units rushing forwards, reinforcing the front line. Well done. And they are capturing these outer points here if we do zoom out. So these capture points here held by Lithuania, and there was one other here held by the Grand Khanate of Kiev. But yeah, considering how many of the enemy forces did get behind, they're still holding quite well. Really good to see here. Unfortunately, it looks like Azrian might have pushed his halberdier a little bit too far ahead. Granted, it is a very depleted unit of high period sergeants moving in. I think the halberdiers should still be okay. But there we go. Both units of lances, spears, and halberds, or polearms, they were defeated. They did try to get into those crossbows, but unfortunately they were not successful. These spears over here just getting shredded, though. how are we doing over here? The halberdier heavy axeman holding strong in the face of so many enemies. But there we go. It looks like some ducal infantry are actually breaking. So this is a really bad situation for the attackers. They may have been a little bit too aggressive, but it's hard to say. This is a live battle, so I have no idea what's going to happen at this point. How much do they have? Did they have to abandon their ram here? Did they get that siege tower up? Maybe not. No, they didn't. So I'm wondering if maybe there's something glitchy with this where you can't actually bring forces across. If that's the case, that's fine. I think he is sending a few units up there to possibly burn the gates, because I believe all the units do now have the ability to burn gates by throwing torches, and they can also burn down towers through the same method. Coming back over to this fight here, yeah, it's getting a little bit framey. I kind of want to see how well these swords are doing in the face of so many enemies. Oh, and also these poor halberds here just being mowed down. I think he is trying to flank around the units of the hunted over here. But now that does expose their back to those archers. Whereabouts are the archers? Yeah, we've got some Pavi's crossbowmen of the high period from the hunted here. Although it looks like they are being harassed by some Prussian archers. Yeah, so Lance's strategist harassing them with the Prussian archers. However, that's what makes these Pavi's crossbowmen so good, is they have a 60 missile block. Prussian archers do have a 40 missile block though, so that's not too bad. But yeah, just charging this unit in to the Spiretniki might actually save this sword unit. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit further here. Actually, let's look at the castle from this point. And look at this, we've got some of the Teutonic cavalry coming down. Oh, nice. And we've got some of the artillery fire coming in as well. But unfortunately, these halberds are being destroyed by those Pavi's crossbowmen. However, it looks like they don't really have any answer to this cavalry, at least nothing close by. Lithuania is quickly sending some ducal cavalry, but a lot of these crossbows and archers are pretty undefended. So that is a little scary to see if you are rooting for the attackers in this situation. And look at that, he's going to slip right through the gap, and he's going to catch both of those units of archers in melee. Luckily, we've got some Odroki from the boss. He is quick to respond to that, and hopefully will save those two units of archers. And oh, look at this, it's a little tit for tat here. We've got the ducal cavalry slamming into the Prussian archers and the Pavi's crossbows. I don't think that the the defenders are aware of that situation there. At least Azarin, he's probably really microing hard to get these crossbow units off the battlefield. Another huge charge there into this unit of Retniki. Nice job. Yeah, they had 76 men. They're already down to 62 from that initial charge. So even depleted units of cavalry, they are very, very solid. And here we go. This is going to be bad here. Yeah, huge charge from the knights into the backs of those halberdier, absolutely slaughtering them. Same thing with the salamander swordsmen. I doubt they're going to be able to hold out in the face of that charge. Wow, a bloody, bloody battle. I think that's the first they've been into melee, and they've already got 60 kills to their name. And over here, it looks like they did manage to save that unit that was outflanked, but they're dealing with some pretty elite units. We've got the noble swordsman and the dismounted boyaria. And what do we got here? It looks like we've got some knights actually turning around to hit the polearms from the rear, and thus sealing the fate of this very fresh unit of salamander swordsmen. My goodness. Absolute slaughter outside these walls. And the settlement is burning, so that probably means that they have taken a bit of morale penalties. Yeah, -2 morale, -2 attack, and -2 defense. But look at this, all these archers, they sent out a third unit of archers. I don't think they realize the Odroki over here from the boss getting this huge hit on the Prussian archers early on. They're pretty much out of the game, barely hanging on. Luckily, we do have some Prussian archers up on the walls that are just firing down into this Russian cavalry. And there we go, finally breaking them from the battlefield. That was actually a cool-looking unit of cavalry, too. But yes, so they've already pretty much reached this gate here, the front gate. The settlement, I mean, it's burned a bit, but it's not too bad. It's not Mongol rockets too bad. But I think with that cavalry charge, they've pretty much sealed the outer city. So at this point, I think it is a good move to start the attacks on the rear gates. So it looks like we do have the ram. We got the Lithuanian Ducal spearmen pushing up the ram over here. We've also got some more spearmen waiting to charge in. And over here, they're putting up more of defense. You can see the Salamander swordsmen and the Burgerwehr halberds. This is going to be a tough defense to break down, especially with swords. But we'll see how well the dismounted boyars do. I'm kind of curious if he's actually going to charge into them, or if he's got them on a walking path and they're just going to walk into them. If they do, they're probably going to lose a lot of men. And there goes the standard barrier. He's missing his sword and his shield, but he is just going to charge right in. So let's see how well the boyars do. Got some peasants. They're like still trying to do their farming work. They're like, oh, we have to get so much food inside the settlement. Yeah, but the enemy's right there. No, I left a few more hay bales in the barn. I'll be right back. I don't know why she's out here. And this one's kind of just like glitched. She's like, well, this is my favorite tree, so I think I'm just going to stay here, and what happens. Just screams of terror. Screams of terror, yet they're running away from the one area that holds any hope for defending them. They're just like leaving it. They're like, no, all hope's lost. But no, the balance of power is very out of favor. However, this was a 3v2, so it's still not in the attacker's favor yet, in my opinion, because this is going to be very difficult. They don't have any siege towers that can make it to these walls, so that means it's come down to 3 choke points. So they're going to have to move through these gatehouses with oil, and that's going to make it extremely difficult for the attackers. Even though they have the man count, these gatehouses with oil will kill hundreds, if not thousands, of your men. However, the allied man count here, they've actually lost 2,000 men, and the enemies have lost 2,000 men, so it's pretty even, considering the blitzkrieg that went on down here, surrounding the Teutonic Order forces and basically destroying them. They seem to have leveled the casualties. So it's 2,200 to 4,300. So there is a 2,100 man advantage for the defenders. So we'll see if they can defend this outer keep. Azreen, he's got his catapult at the very back here because he's trying to get a good angle to fire down onto all these units. He's just a little high. Hitting right here would be a perfect shot because you always want to hit in front of the unit because they have roll damage as well. So if it hits and then bounces back, it could kill a lot more men. So always undershoot if you can. I'm sure you guys all know this anyways, but in case you don't. But just look at the carnage over here. Look how many dead bodies we have. My goodness. There's a screenshot for your guys' desktop background. Oh yeah, that sounded like a good hit. Nope, it got a few guys. Also a few guys there too. But they've got to be really careful here. They're really clumping up their forces, the attackers. Yeah, now you can see that they're actually spreading out. Good plan. It's going to be tough for them if they're going to try and skirmish the defenders as well, because the Prussian archers, they just have this superior position up on these walls. And it looks like we've also got some of the Teutonic crossbows up here as well. Burgerwehr Pavi's crossbowmen with 33 kills. The Prussian archers up to 104, but they've used up all their ammunition, almost, so they're not going to get too many more kills. But I think they're just going for it. This gate is not destroyed, though, so I think they will first have to destroy it. So they're probably going to start throwing torches at it. Or maybe not. Not too sure. I think that's what their plan is. Either that or they want to try and waste some of the ammunition of the Prussian archers here, which are still firing. Yeah, not sure if because it's open, they're not able to throw torches at it. Sometimes that does occur. Or they're just going to try and walk in. Not sure.
Give them steel. Give them fear.
Oh, no, they're just going to go right in. Oh, yep. Oh, yeah, they've got to attack the gate? Really? I thought... Oh, there we go. They did get it to close, though, so that's good. So now it should start to take damage from them attacking it. There we go. That's good. I was worried that it would kind of glitch out. But again, yeah, gonna lose a lot of men. A lot of men. Oh, it'd be good if they still had ammo on their catapults, because then they could fire at it. Does any of them still have ammunition? This one is out. Where is the other ones? Oh, yes, DeBoss, he's bringing up his catapult. That is perfect. And oh, we've got... Did all of them get destroyed? He's got 3 destroyed there. Where's the 4th one? Either way, I think that, yeah, the Tattoos and Welding's catapult has been eliminated, possibly by this Bastion catapult. I'm not sure if Lance the Strategist was sniping it out or not. But this gate is damaged 100%, which is excellent. The gatehouse, the oil part, is only damaged 52%, though, so it definitely will be pouring oil down upon the attackers. And over here, we've got an excellent position here. These crossbows just firing down off the walls onto the guard British axemen that are waiting here in reserve. I'm not sure if the boss knows that. If he doesn't, though, he's going to figure it out soon when he sees a lot of dead Rus that haven't even seen melee. But if you guys look up to the shadowy part of the wall, you can just make out the heads of the Pavi's crossbows. That is a terrifying sight. Yeah, there they go. Yep, firing down onto the British axemen. That is a good target to go for because they have really, really solid stats as far as melee attack and melee defense go. If you take a look at this here, they've got a 50 missile block. Or, sorry, a 35 missile block, so it's not insane. But their melee damage is 50, and they've got 75 armor, so they are kind of like medieval tanks. I definitely love charging in a sword unit first, and then following up with these guys. Or the other option is to engage a unit with swords from the front and try and flank with them, because their charge bonus is actually really solid as well. It's 40, whereas usual is 20. I mean, it's not cavalry charge bonus, but it's still pretty decent. How are they doing here? 12%? Yeah, so they're really struggling to take this gate out, unfortunately. And I'm not sure what these spears are doing. If they were going to move out and then Azrin decided not to, or what. But we've got some halberdier heavy axemen moving in to reinforce this line even further. But over here, they're being pretty calm and collected about it. I think they want to wait until all of the gates are down before they do move in. However, DeBoss is, yeah, he's sending up more infantry. He's going to need more infantry to get through this line. And well done also bringing the archers up to focus down the Volgiers, because, as I said, their missile block is basically 0. I mean, mixed in with the Salamander Swordsman, yeah, they've got a 60 missile block, so they will defend them a little bit. But as I said, these guys are light polearm infantry, so they're not going to perform very well in the face of a bunch of steel bolts. And yeah, then they still have to take down this gate after all of that. So that's going to be very, very challenging. So the Teutonic Order, I mean, they're definitely down in the man count, but they're comfortable at this point. I think they can take a bit of a breather, rest any of their troops that were outside of the city and made it back in. Like these Prussian archers, they're back to fresh. And definitely save the ammunition. It looks like one of them is firing, which is excellent. These other two have been turned off. So they don't need to all be firing at one time. But if we take a look at the man count, so it's 2,100 to 3,900. So they're still pretty even in as far as the kill-death ratio. They've completely broken, but that's almost a blessing in disguise for DeBoss because his dismounted Boyar sons were obstructed. But now that this unit is out of the way, he should be able to fire on them. And Azarian has moved a little bit too far from his Volgears. He needs to kind of reform that line because they're now exposed to the archer fire and they're starting to take some pretty decent casualties. I mean, it's hard to say, but if I was Lance and Azarian here, I may even just consider trying to get them back inside the city. That's two more units that could help in a choke point battle like the castle, or like the gate, sorry. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, they're starting to be picked apart.
The unwashed bastards! They're fighting back! Aye. Enemies tend to do that.
Yeah, so it's a slow grind, but once this unit is gone, these swords should be pretty easy to overpower with those Birdie Shacksmen. He's just got them waiting in reserve. And I mean, this unit is also at half strength, so once the Birdie Shacksmen get that charge bonus off, they get like 10 or 12 kills off the charge itself. The swords are going to start wavering. The only thing really that will keep them in melee is their chevrons at this point. But how are we looking on this front gate here? Looks like they're sending a fresh unit of dismounted Boyar sons over to attack the gate. Yeah, a lot of kills there on that, though. It actually looks like they might make it through. They are getting a few men through there. It's tough to see. This is going to be such a hard nut to crack. I think he is. I think he is trying to fire at the gate. He just doesn't have a good position. He needs to move it right here so that it can fire straight at it. The gatehouse is well at 6%. I mean, he should have enough ammo to do it. Oh no! Come on, guys, show mercy. It's his last catapult. Oh my goodness. Well, there goes their last hope there. So basically, they're just going to have to swarm the gate with overwhelming numbers in hopes that they can break it and then just charge their forces through. But over here, Tattoos and Welding, well done with his high period archers here. He's actually firing through into the spears. However, not getting too many kills just because they've got such a good missile block chance. But over here, yeah, so it looks like Lance is moving his Volgears back to the city, but still well under fire. And he's moving out his catapult. That's a pretty risky move, because those catapults are really slow to maneuver. And actually, fire arrows, yes, so justice is served by DeBoss. You're going to take away my catapult, I'm going to take away yours. Yeah, that's probably his catapult gone right here. There we go. This has been a very even battle as far as, like, give and take, I've noticed. Like, oh, you're cav charging me, I'll cav charge you. Oh, you broke my catapult, I'm going to break yours. But yeah, now the Salamander Swordsmen are just retreating, and that's going to allow DeBoss to move up to this gate. The catapult crew has to sacrifice themselves to slow down DeBoss's advance. And then this unit of swords will be able to move back inside the settlement. The gatehouse is now at 17%, so that's good. I think it is going to take a bit of time before they do manage to get inside the gate, though. Looks like it is going down very slowly. However, actually, this catapult crew is so small that it looks like it's dodging most of the burning oil. Let's actually watch and see as it pours down. I think they might actually be able to keep that unit in. Yeah, you can see it's actually falling behind the catapult crew. So well done to the boss. I'm not sure if he knew that or not, but they're free to basically attack this gate and break it down so that they can charge through.
This is a shameful display.
If we take a look at the battle as a whole here, we've got all the generals still outside the city. We've got some boyars kind of waiting in reserve. Would have been nice if he had his boyars over here, because as that unit of salamanders tried to retreat, you could have just charged them in the back and seen them off the battlefield. But I get why DeBoss is being very reserved here, and it's because of this Pavi's crossbow unit that's just sitting in a perfect position to fire down on his men as he tries to go for the gate. And here we go. It looks like we do have some halberds charging through. We've got the stakes here, but that shouldn't really affect them because they're an infantry unit. So yeah, the Ducal Heavy Axemen, I mean, they only lost 2 in that burning oil charge, so not too bad. And yeah, let's zoom in and see some of those spears just getting slain by these massive axemen. Yeah, they're actually doing pretty well. They are forcing back the spears. You can see that they're down to 2 ranks. And these axemen are completely in, so it looks like they won't take any more casualties from the burning oil. And if they could crack these 2 units and none are sent to help, then they'll be able to capture the gates, and the burning oil will cease to pour down upon them. And I know that at this point you're like, oh, there's no way that the attackers are going to be able to get in here. I mean, there's not much infantry to hold them back when they finally do. And they've already got 1 choke point where they've got men through. This second one is going down very shortly. Oh, of course. Why didn't they use the ram in the first place? I'm wondering if the hunted forgot that he had a ram? Because he did send units in there before, and I totally forgot that they had brought rams before as well. Oh man, that's so much easier. Look how many look how many lives he's saying. Or saving, not saying. But yeah, there we go. So that's going to get rid of the gates. There we go, 100%. Perfect. And now they should be able to charge on through. Now the sergeants, they will lose a few men moving through this gate here because of that burning oil. But all you need to do is charge far enough to get engaged with these spears. Maybe right-click a few times so that the unit pushes forwards, and then they're in. They're saved from the burning oil. But we do have some Salamander swordsmen. We've got some more halberder very close by to assist. But how we looking here? Spears are holding. Ducal Axemen, they're active. Spears are still fresh. Yeah, they're just escaping that burning oil. DeBoss, he's probably having a pretty tough time over here. What do we got going on over here? My goodness. We've got a sally out by Azrian Fox. He's got some dismounted boyars that are being flanked around by the Burgerwehr. A really risky move, though, because of the Prussian archers. Yeah, better to go into the dismounted boyars here. Oh, there we go. Well done. A counter charge into the halberds before they get their formation down. Oh, wow, and we've got... Is this another unit? Yeah, look, he's got his archers quickly rushing away. We've only got the British axemen here that are hoping to save these archers from an almost certain fate. And yeah, the Salamander swordsmen, they're like, nah, we do not want to fight that. We're just gonna pull back. But now that the British axemen are moving forwards, the Pavi's crossbowmen are unleashing a volley of arrows into them. And I mean, they do have a lot of armor, but it's not going to save them from crossbow bolts. Once their hit points start to go down, they are going to start taking some heavier casualties. Actually, what are they up to right now? Oh man, if they get this charge, that's going to be really bad for these Salamander swordsmen. Oh yeah, but look at the blood spraying as they get hit from behind. That unit already lost 32 men from that Pavi's crossbow unit. But look at this. We've got the Salamander swordsmen over here that are just being ripped apart by the dismounted boyars. The Prussian archers are back, though, so they will be focusing down the Bürgerwehr. Yeah, they're already starting to waver. Wow, very, very awesome sally out there from Azrian, but I'm not sure if it's going to pay off, unfortunately. Yeah, a lot of breaking there from the Teutonic Order. But the British Axemen not far behind. They're about, yeah, they've broken as well. And probably for good. I'm sure Azrian will continue to fire a few more volleys to make sure they do not return. Because 27 kills for that British Axemen unit is very low. Ooh, careful firing that into your own men. And look at this now, Azrian, he's just going to turn around and go after the archers because the boss doesn't have anything else to defend them with. He's quickly pushing with the dismounted boyars to try and slow them down. I mean, they'll probably break. This is kind of a last-ditch effort for him, but now we've got the catapult coming down into the archers. Getting a few kills there. I don't know where they're trying to run, to be honest. Oh, yes, I was about to say, DeBoss did have a unit of boyars. You should just bring them up and slam into this unit. But, yeah, unfortunately, because they were just continued to try and run down those archers, they were being cut down from behind. And it looks like the British Axemen did return to the battlefield. And I think they had, like, what, 20 kills before? And just in that charge from that depleted unit, they killed another 20 men. But how are we doing over here? Okay, so it looks like we did have some communal Volgiers that did move forwards, but they're wavering. I mean, not too surprising. They're not a really solid unit. And over here, Lithuania, he is pushing forwards as well. He's got to be careful not to push too much through, though, because the burning oil is going to start to kill a lot of his forces. I mean, he actually dodged that. And actually, it looks like the Kievian Rus is starting to capture this. Hold, men. Yeah, it actually looks like they are capturing the gate, so that's why he's pushing more of his forces in. The Ducal Heavy Axemen, they are starting to waver, but just the sheer amount of men that they have in here is starting to take the gate from the Teutonic Order and give it to the Lithuanians. And I think that Azrian has tried to put his crossbows here to add to the man count, but it's just not enough. And how are we doing over here at this gate? Yeah, I don't think DeBoss is ready to move in just yet. His gate damage is at 3% here. That sucks about that ram, though, that he wasn't able to get that ram up. Must be a glitch with the bridge there or something. But we've got some more Guard British Axemen over here, which is good. And I think the depleted unit of communal Volgiers is trying to go back in. Yeah, I just send all of these units in. They're pretty depleted at this point, so it's not like it's a huge loss if they do end up succumbing to the burning oil. But it looks like these sergeants have moved forwards, and they're still a pretty healthy unit. I think most of them are on the inner side of the city, so they will escape the oil. Hold spears. Very, very bitter fight. And I think at this point, they're kind of losing their ammunition. I mean, they've got a few units of crossbows still with ammo left and a few units of archers, but you can see that they're starting to capture this gatehouse now. That's why Azrian is pushing in with his swords to try to add more to the man count pool, because the way it works is whoever has the most men inside the circle of effect is supposed to hold the gate. But it looks like the Teutonic Order flag is going down, and it is going to be captured by the Polish. Now, you can see he's trying to push forwards his men just to escape the burning oil. And how are we looking over here, actually? Pretty good for the attackers. And they've almost captured this gate completely now, which will just allow him to funnel more of his men through the gap. Although I think this is all that they have at this point. They didn't bring any more forces over to this gate. But it is forcing the defenders to commit a lot of their forces over to this side, and it is making other areas more light in their defense, especially over here with this one unit of Bürgerwehr. I think that the defenders realize that DeBoss really doesn't have as much men as the other players do on their sides going for the gates. This unit alone is probably not going to be able to take down this gate, and I'm not sure if he wants to throw away his archers just for that. He's got 2 units of the archers here. He's got a unit of dismounted boyars over on this side as well. Where is he going with this? I think he was pushing that ram around, but then he realized that both of these gates are down, so he's decided to let that go. Bad luck that he couldn't get his ram up the hill, though. That definitely would have made it even more difficult for the defending forces. And Poland is pushing through, the hated enemy of the Teutonic Order. Poland with the Lithuanian pagans. And the Rus probably considered pagans as well. I don't think they were Catholic. They were probably Orthodox at this point. But yeah, look at this. The Lithuanians definitely making headway over on this side. Oh no, and the Volgirs actually lifting up their formation. That's not good. Not sure if that was a misclick or he's trying to push them more into the capture zone. But yeah, this gate is firmly in the Kievan Rus' control, I believe. It says it's held by the Teutonic Order, but the flag speaks otherwise, I think. And where are they firing at? Oh, they're firing at these spears, but there's really no sense in that. And it looks like 2 catapults were destroyed here, but Lance, he still has most of his catapult ammo still available to him. And I think he's going to set them up right here and fire straight through this gate if he can. That's pretty risky, though. They've definitely committed a lot of their defending forces in this area as well. But yeah, it looks like they've captured, held by the Duchy of Lesser Poland on this gate. Held by the Duchy of Lithuania. So it's basically just this gate. I think he's just going to go for it, maybe. The other unit did try and go for it. What? Okay, yeah, they were just wrecked. Oh, and now they're going after the cavalry. That's too bad. I would just retreat this cavalry down the hill. There's no sense in having it here just to be shot at by the Pavis crossbows. But look at this. Most of the defending forces are now engaged, and they don't have anything to hold this gate except for the general's bodyguards. This unit of Volgirs is coming over to this side to stop the Lithuanians from forcing through. I think they have the best chance right now of getting through, and the Volgirs need to block off this section here. The spears, they're soaking up that ammo. I think that they're wasting their ammunition firing on those spears. They're not going to get any kills. You could try and go after the crossbows, maybe, instead. Not sure if he's changed to focus on them. Yeah, this is a very long battle, guys. My recording says it's up to 53 minutes so far, and it could be another 20 minutes. So if you have to pause it and go get some snacks, that's no problem. Just make sure you come back for the ending. I still think it's anybody's game at this point, to be honest. The enemy man count is now down to 2,700, and the allies have 1,500 men. Oh, and here we go. That's a huge hit. A huge hit from the catapult. That could be a game changer. Not only does that kill a lot of these tightly packed Polish units, it also is going to affect the morale of all of them. And there we go, charging even more men in to make sure they hold them where they stand. is he going to continue firing with that there? I think so. Come on, fire. What are they doing? Trying to readjust? Yeah, it looks like. It's too bad that... do they have any more ammunition over here? They do have some crossbows that are kind of being held in reserve. That's a misclick, too. I think they were trying to get the crossbows to fire on the catapult. But again, they don't do a arc very well at all anymore. So trying to have them arc over top to go after this catapult, it's not going to work. And yeah, there we go. Looks like Tattoos is pulling back out his crossbows. It's not going to happen, unfortunately. And that's what makes crossbows so difficult in sieges now. Before, they used to be really good, but now you really have to consider what type of battlefield you're working on. Because crossbows, in my opinion, are an excellent choice if you're defending now. But for attacking, when you really need to fire over top of the walls and such, I'm thinking archers might be the better option at this point. In land battles, I'll probably always go with crossbows because most of the time they'll have a clear line of fire to be able to shoot, but not so much in sieges. Oh, did I miss another good hit? Yeah, I'm seeing some burning down there. Firing right into the gate. And that oil is still coming down, eh? But it's held by them. So it must be hitting some units of the defenders as they retreat, possibly. But the balance of power is starting to climb back in favor of the defenders now. 1,500 to 2,200 men. It's getting very close. How we doing on this gate? 25% damage, and I think that this unit is so depleted now that they're mostly dodging. They're mostly dodging the oil. So he might be able to get through here yet. Unfortunately, though, the cavalry has been completely destroyed by those crossbows. So once they get through, I think the Grandmaster will just be able to do one swift charge and then charge out and grab those archer units. And I think that's all that DeBoss has sent over here. Oh, yeah, so he's going to send his Khan's Guard over there, which I think is a good choice. I mean, to be honest, if I was actually Lance right now, I would just charge out now, break this unit, and then go after the archers while they're completely undefended. I think that's a fair shout. It's going to take probably another minute and a half for the Khan's Guard to get over here. But they are firing at these... oh, yeah, the Pavis crossbowmen, too. The Khan's Guard is going to have to be careful not to come up here and then to get shot to pieces by the Khan's Guard. And what do we got? Looks like we got some pikemen here. Levy pikemen. Oh, they're wavering, though. I think that's what the archers and the crossbows were saving their ammo for. Yeah, they broke before they even reached the walls. And look at these units wavering now. All three of them are wavering. We're going to have a chain break here. That is not good if you're rooting for the attacking forces. So well-placed shots by Lance's catapult. Whose? Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. He did charge out and they just got wrecked. Oh, no. That is not good. So Lance's general actually soaking. I don't know if they were killed by the archers because he did charge out against the boyars, but they slowed them down enough. And then they just got like 2 or 3 good volleys in. But... I take back my advice. Don't listen to me, guys. That was not worth it. And now we've actually got the Khan's Guard for DeBoss, so he could possibly lock the Grandmaster's bodyguard in melee outside the walls. That is not good, and both these units of archers should be able to, along with the Khan's Guard, defeat Azrian's bodyguard. There goes Lance's bodyguard. Oh, no. I mean, hopefully a lot of his units are trained. If they're trained, then they shouldn't break. Let me see. I think that's this. Disciplined. Yeah, so their general dying won't affect them as much, so it's not too bad. Plus, I think Lance has less defenders than Azrian does, so at least Azrian's still still has his general. But as I said, this is really not good. He's kind of all alone out here. He is high period, which is good. The Khan's guard is high period as well, though. Oh, man, he's getting wrecked. Oh, no. Oh, no. Where is the Khan's guard? Where is he? Is he the one with the feather there? I think he's the one with the peacock feather there.
This is a shameful display.
Oh, is he going to escape? Oh, maybe he'll escape. Yeah, he actually is getting away. I doubt he's going to return to the battle, though. Now, it says they're routing, but I don't see the thing that says they'd be shattered. Oh, yeah, they're shattered. Casualty sustained. Wow, so both their generals are gone just like that. And now this is a big problem because if DeBoss goes back to take this gate, it's a 46% damage. They have nothing here to defend it with. All they've got is basically archers on the walls. They've got a unit of Prussian archers here. It looks like this unit of Burgerwehr Volgiers is coming back. But this is anybody's game. See if they get a good shot here with the catapult once again. Really sniping out those Polish, too. I'm surprised he hasn't taken any friendly fire hitting the line of his own men here. Or actually, it looks like he's holding their ammo for now. Who owns this gate? Oh, so they actually captured the gate back? Really? Huh. But they're kind of running out of troops here. We've got some British axemen and some dismounted boyars, which could go through the gate. We've got some knights, too. I wonder if a good charge could break them. Probably not. They've got the halberdier spearmen in Testudo there, so I'm not sure if that's a viable option. They've got the Great Banner for Cacao as well with the general. Maybe, like, cycle charging through, but then that burning oil, that's the tough thing. And it looks like the defenders are kind of reclaiming this gate as well. Lithuania losing a bit of their steam here. We've actually got the Lithuanian general, the Grand Duke's bodyguard, trying to spur his units on, but he's only down to a couple units of archers and some Lithuanian knights. And actually, these Lithuanian knights probably got slaughtered charging in here because of the stakes. Unless, actually, he might have dismounted them just to get in there. But the balance of power is climbing back into the defenders' favor. And actually, they have more men now than the attackers do. 1394 for the Teutonic Order and 1257 for the Polish-Lithuanian Ruski Alliance. Ooh, not good, not good. Or good, depending on who you're going for. Oh, man, and as the British axemen come in there, huge hits onto the Rus reinforcements, and that actually is breaking some of the Polish units. And we've got another unit ready to go here. We've got the Burgerwehr. I think that was the one going for this gate. But DeBoss has not abandoned this gate just yet. I think he is going to try and break through. By some miracle, he might be able to break them down and cause a bit of disorder back here. Azrian actually realizes that, and he's sending his crossbows back up onto the walls. This unit could probably go up there as well. I don't think they're getting too many kills over on this side.
The enemy have rallied their units.
And the Grand Duke's bodyguard has charged in as well. Yeah, so it looks like he has dismounted his horsemen. So good battlefield awareness there, not losing your general to the stakes. Hold, men. I thought for sure that this would have been the one that they would finally be able to break through, but they're running out of infantry. Yep, balance of power is now even. Enemy man count falling very rapidly. Crossbows have moved up now. They're just trying to fire at anything and everything. Looks like the hunted has moved his general in, and his general is just being burned alive. Where is the Polish general? I doubt I'd be able to pick him out in the crowd. Oh, that's probably him dead. Or it could be the Lithuanian general, I'm not sure. But I don't, he was pretty noticeable with his crown, now that I think of it. It was the Grand Khanate who wasn't as noticeable. And Lithuanians starting to break as well. Teutonic spears pushing this cavalry back. And how are we looking over here if I turn on the HUD? Is everything gone? Yep, they've shattered. Balance of power heavily in favor of the defenders. So it's just such a tough... It's such a tough citadel to get in. With these gates here, it's really hard to use only those choke points because, as I said, the burning oil just gets so many kills. I think if they were able... Oh, what? I knew he wasn't shattered for good. He's coming back. Is he still alive, too? In the center of his unit? Yeah, I think so. So, yeah, he has come back. But, yeah, I think if they were able to get 1 or 2 towers across this bridge and get them up on the walls, it would have been a very different story. Because then they would have been able to get down into the city itself. But just with these choke points, it was just a slog. Hundreds of Polish, Lithuanian, and Rus have lost their lives to burning oil today. And there we go. I think the last of them have broken. I think it's just the Khan's Guard on the battlefield and also a unit of Guards British Axemen that have returned from routing. But look at the line of men just retreating as far as the eye can see into the forest there. So let's look at the final man count here. 1,300 men remaining. So, yeah, they only lost like 75 to 80% of their force. And we've got some crossbows coming up here. I think the Khan's Guard is either going to get a charge off in kind of a little bit of retribution for all of his men slain, or the crossbows are going to get a really nice volley into the Khan's Guard and shatter him for good. He's going to set him up right at the end. Oh, what are you doing? He's going to move him back because I think he realizes he's not going to get them into that position quickly enough. All right, let's see from the crossbows position here if the Khan's Guard is going to make it up the hill. That's one thing I love about DeBoss is that he never gives up. Down to the last man, he is fighting. Oh, is he not charging up? Oh no, they're coming. They're coming.
Strike low into their bellies.
Oh, and they just I think they conceded. So let's allow the battle to exit here, and we will take a look at the results. So looking at Azer and Fox for the Teutonic Order here, 136 men there, so that's pretty solid. His spear's doing really well. This one, not so much, but it didn't really see battle. And for these Volgears, 293, well done. But then this one with 3 was probably just overwhelmed in the city, in the outer city. And then with the Salamander Swordsman, 210, 170. We've got good kills on those crossbows. And also this unit of Cav, 263. And we've got, for Lance's force, 282 and 191. Good kills on his Salamander Swordsman. Again, he was mostly in the outer city, so that's pretty solid kills considering most of them were surrounded. 215 and 156, excellent. And 132 firing into the choke point with that catapult. Looking at DeBoss's British Axeman, 120. The Retniki getting 99 kills. That's pretty good. Dismounted Boyars, 140 and 70, but really low here on these 3. Boyar's son, some doing okay, but some not. I think these were the ones that were trying to fire at the back for the latter half of the battle. And looking at the Hunted, no kills on those pikes. They were focused down really well by the Teutonic defenders. His infantry kind of lacked as well. It's hard because he was faced with just charging his elite infantry into a choke point, and a choke point where they rain burning oil too. So I didn't really expect that many kills. The crossbows 6.6 and 103 is okay. 169 with the knights, that's pretty solid. And then tattoos and welding, good kills with the Duke Call Heavy Axeman here, which is 75 and 83. And noble swords, they didn't really stack up that well. Or sorry, these are the Boriwari. I don't even remember how I pronounced that before. But 84, that's not bad. Where were the noble swordsmen? Oh, right here, 22 and 55. Yeah, that's quite low. And low kills on the archers as well. They were just so defended in that inner keep. But 73 on the Ducal Cavalry, pretty solid. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live battle. It was something a little different to bring to you guys out on the channel. And if you liked it, I can think of maybe doing some more live battle commentaries. I know there's some awesome custom maps that really just don't work for replays, but if you'd like to see them fought live, I can definitely look into that. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one.